Welcome to Dollars and Cents TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Todd Bauman. He is founder and CEO of Bauman Wealth Advisors, as well as joined by Vincent Garaventa, Vice President of Bauman Wealth Advisors. And to our viewers at home, we are going to talk to you today about some outdated retirement rules that are putting your future at risk. Now, what does that mean exactly? Perhaps you've been following the same rules that used to work 20 years ago, but they don't work today. The world has changed. The face of retirement has changed, as you've learned from a prior episode. So again, we thank you for being with us. Thank you for inviting us into your living rooms. It's an honor to be with you today. Todd, how are you?
I'm doing great, Cynthia, as always.
Yay! You're always smiling.
I'm vertical. It's a good day.
Yes. You're vertical. That's awesome. Great start.
Right?
Vinny, how are you?
Better than ever.
Good.
Happy to be here.
So happy to be with you both. And it's a shame we don't have fun on this show. I mean, we have to change that, right?
Right.
So it's amazing when I think about this. The outdated rules that people can still follow, and you probably don't realize that they're outdated because you're just doing what you've known to do, kind of like the hamster in the wheel. But the first one that I want to talk about, gentlemen, and help me understand exactly what it is, because we've all heard about it, the 4% rule. How can this actually derail someone's retirement plan? What is the 4% rule?
Yeah, it's a rule of thumb that oftentimes gets misconstrued as a golden rule that we could just apply to every single situation. What it really is, what it's based on, is a few assumptions. It assumes a 30-year timeline. It assumes that we're 60% in the stock market, 40% in the bond market, and it assumes that we have all the flexibility in the world around what we're going to withdraw from our retirement accounts.
Okay.
What I mean by that is the rule itself is not to withdraw more than 4% each and every year. You're withdrawing 4% of your portfolio value every year. And so in my experience, what that end result is, if somebody's following that to a T, is, you know, if the market comes down, if that 60% stock, 40% bond portfolio comes down 20, 30%, that's a 20, 30% haircut to your spending.
Yes.
And not everybody has that kind of flexibility. You know, people have bills. And beyond that, people have things that they want to do in retirement. They work their whole lives to be able to build up this nest egg, and they have all these dreams that they want to, things that they want to do and things they want to enjoy.
Yes.
And we don't necessarily want to have ourselves at the mercy of the market to decide whether or not we're going to go on that nice vacation or spend extra time with our kids or grandkids or things like that. And so that assumption that gets baked in that everybody has this flexibility to withdraw whatever that 4% number is, I think it's a little dated, and I think it ends up hurting people sometimes.
Most definitely, yet people still follow that, Todd. And why is that? Is it because people just get stuck? They're doing what they think works, but no one has told them otherwise?
Yeah, absolutely, Cynthia. I mean, you know, it's just doing your homework and seeing what works for you. I think people don't know that much about this stuff, right? Because that's not their expertise, you know. They may have been in construction or plumbing or whatever they did for their career path. And so, you know, it all boils down to, you know, when you're approaching this time in your life to start pulling income, you got to really start to dive into what are you going to need for retirement? What are your hard costs, meaning what are your expenses, right?
Okay.
And then what would you like to do on top of that, you know, like the trips and the traveling and, you know, maybe you need a new car, things like that, right? And so it all boils down to calculating your income monthly needs, right? And seeing what that looks like, and then stress testing that to see can your portfolio provide that income that you want to live?
Okay. What about evaluating timing risk, if you will, before retiring? Is that an important piece that people should consider?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as, you know, when you're actually going to retire, we always recommend start looking about 5 to 7 years before you actually get ready to retire. Start putting these plans in place, right? So you can kind of have a roadmap, and that way you can, you know, get out of the gate as quick as possible when you actually do retire. And laying out an income plan will do that for you. Would you agree, Vinny?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The sooner the better, but definitely when you're getting closer and closer, the more important it becomes to start thinking about these things.
Okay.
Like a big one is the idea of sequence risk.
Okay.
That's a big factor that comes into play. The idea of that just means when you're withdrawing money, when you're in retirement, you're taking money out of the portfolio, that creates a drag on the portfolio. And if you have a big downturn, a lot of volatility in the market, and the portfolio comes down, that can derail a plan much more than when you're working, you're contributing, and you're earning. When the market comes down at that time, it's almost like a good thing, technically, because you're buying in when it's low, and the goal is to buy low and sell high when you invest. The goal is to grow the money. And so when you're in retirement and you're taking money out, it's a huge risk if, in those early years, that's what we call the sequence risk, is if you have one of those big downturns, if you are overexposed to something like that.
Okay.
And it's not just like the day that you retire, you want to start thinking about it. It's as you get closer and closer, as that portfolio builds, you're going to want to think about peeling back that onion, peeling back some of those layers, and diversifying into some other things that might better insulate you.
Would you say that overall, when you're looking at someone's retirement future, if you will, I know you break down different components, but would you say that diversified income streams would be the most important, having income that's coming in every month, no matter what happens in the market?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the idea of the balancing act that we have. The idea that costs are going to go up over time. It's going to get more and more expensive. It always has.
Yes.
And so we need to account for that, and we need to have a bucket of our portfolio that's growing and building for later years down the line. At the same time, we need to navigate the fact that we need money now. We need money to spend, and we want to have some flexibility around that. We don't want to be sticking ourselves into a scenario where we're at the mercy of the market, whether or not we get to go on that trip or go and buy that new vehicle or buy the vacation home or the cabin or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you want. You don't want those external factors to really derail that. We always try and build a plan that's bulletproof, that could weather any storm, and it all starts with the income plan and always being able to have access to the money that you need and not having to sell investments when they're down, ideally.
Well, and be flexible too. So in case you call us up one day with a curveball, like one of your kids needs a big chunk of money, the plan can account for that.
Okay.
Right? So you have the flexibility in the portfolio to allow for those what-if scenarios.
And that is so important because life happens. When you think about it, a lot of times people think, okay, my retirement plan is set it and forget it. That is not true because we all go through different phases of life. You have changes. People get married, they get divorced, babies come, divorce. I mean, there's like everything that you can think of, and you have to be able to pivot. And I love that your firm is so good about that. You get calls from people all the time that say, I've had a life change. Can I come in? Can I sit with you? What should I do?
Yeah.
And you always make time for everyone. Okay, how do you do that?
Well, I mean, just got a call not too long ago, hey, we need a new car. And that was not in our plan, right? Because they thought this car was going to last them for about another 7 or 8 years. And so all of a sudden, we're, not redoing the plan, but tweaking a little bit here and there to account for the purchase of this new $70,000 vehicle that they want to buy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the plan is a living, breathing organism that you can actually change whenever you need to.
Well, yeah, Cynthia, absolutely. And then every year we're meeting with clients to go over that plan, So we have the basis of the plan, and then we tweak it, here a little bit here and there every year when we get together with clients. And, and throughout the year we're talking to the clients also as well. So, it's a flexible plan that adapts for them in their life.
Perfect. Todd, thank you so much. Vinny, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, we welcome you to call the number on your screen. If you realize that you need to have a retirement plan that's going to withstand anything that happens in the market, anything that happens in the world, you're being offered this opportunity today, and it's so easy to take advantage of it. Once again, call the number on your screen and book the complimentary consultation with Bauman Wealth Advisors. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You deserve to have peace of mind. This is your retirement. We've made it even simpler. You can grab your smartphone, open up the camera app, and simply click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That's the fast track to get on the schedule of Bauman Wealth Advisors. When we come back, we're going to do a deep dive more into some outdated rules that people might still be following that can derail your retirement. Stay tuned. We'll be right back momentarily.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Dollars and Cents TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Todd Bauman. He is founder and CEO of Bauman Wealth Advisors, as well as joined by Vincent Garaventa, Vice President of Bauman Wealth Advisors. And we're talking about some outdated rules in retirement that people may still be following, and it could derail your retirement. We want you to avoid some of those mistakes, so thank you for being with us today. This next one, gentlemen, the tax myth. I want to talk to you a little bit about this, please, because it's the myth of you will pay less in retirement. And this is interesting to me because we've been told to just defer the taxes and just wait. And what do you tell people about that? Vinny, can I put you on the spot for just a second?
Yes, certainly. I was just meeting with somebody the other day. That's why I'm chuckling a bit here, because I can't tell you the amount of times that this comes up where somebody says, I'm paying more in taxes now that I'm retired than I ever did in my highest earning years when I was working.
Yes.
And like you said, we're always told, save into the 401k,
Yes.
defer the taxes, and that's good when you're working and when you're earning. But that assumption, that idea that you're going to be in a lower tax bracket when you retire isn't always true. A lot of times when it comes to things like your mandatory withdrawals, like forced withdrawals, once you reach age 73 or 75, you're forced to start taking that money out and paying the taxes on it. And that could cause a huge spike in income beyond what somebody might have, beyond the rates they might have been paying when they were working, even in their highest earning years.
Wow.
And that happens all the time. And so there's some different opportunities and strategies that we can use to alleviate that, such as Roth conversions and catching it early on. That would be one of the big kind of things I'd want to put some emphasis on if we're thinking about taxes and the idea that we might be paying more in taxes in retirement, is the idea that you don't always have to wait until those forced withdrawals kick in at 73 or 75. You could take advantage of today's tax rates, which are actually the lowest they've been in 100 years.
Yes, amazing, right?
Which could be kind of surprising to some people, knowing that, a lot of people pay a lot in taxes, but in reality, they're the lowest they've been in the last 100 years. And so there's a risk that they go up in the future. And there's also a risk that if we just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and build this money in these tax deferred accounts, deferring the taxes until later, that we end up paying more in taxes than we otherwise would have if we maybe took some of that money and put it into a Roth IRA, paid the taxes on the front end, but then for the rest of our lives and for 10 years after that in most cases, grows tax-free entirely.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are some great strategies that you can actually implement to make sure that people have peace of mind when it comes to taxes. And I love that we're talking about Roth conversions because sometimes people are unaware of the benefit. Todd, what do you see the benefit being of a Roth conversion to someone who's worried about taxes in the future? Talk a little bit more in depth about that.
Yeah, it's exactly what Vinny was just talking about. So what most people that we, honestly, Cynthia, when about 10% of the people that come in and meet with us kind of know what's going on with taxes, but the other 90% don't really know. I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like they kind of don't really care. But they do care, but they don't care enough to go out and do all this on their own, which is why they're coming in to see us, right?
Yes.
And so we're really good at doing the Roth conversion analysis, so we can see where they're at now. Does it make sense or not? And then we're analyzing their tax bracket to see, is there a sweet spot in their tax bracket that we can keep them within, do the conversions now to provide that tax-free income later? Because, who doesn't want tax-free income, right?
Everyone wants tax-free income.
It seems like you just pay taxes to wake up in the day, right? There's taxes everywhere, right? It's out of control.
That's true. In a hotel, there is like that tax.
There's a, hey, you slept in our bed tax, right?
You're right.
It's just crazy the taxes going on right now. So it's vitally crucial to look at that to see if it makes sense. And it's not for everybody, but let us run the analysis for you, right? And see if it does make sense for you, because if it does, it can be a really good thing for you to have tax-free income down the road. Because if taxes go back up, like Vinny was talking about, then we can start to pull some of that Roth income to keep you in a lower tax bracket. And then if you don't use it, then you're just leaving your heirs tax-free money, which I promise you they're going to love, because they're probably in some of the highest income tax brackets they've ever been in because they're working.
Yes.
And now when you pass and you don't leave them Roth money, you leave them IRA money, you're going to be putting fuel on the fire. So you're just adding more taxable income to their high income tax brackets that they're currently in.
Most definitely.
So that's why it makes sense to look at this stuff now, look at the data.
Yes.
I know we've done shows in the past, Cynthia, where I said, look at the data. And
Yes.
this is so true about that statement. Look at the data and see if it makes sense for you or not.
Yes, because it's so imperative when you think about it. You've worked your whole life. You want to save as much money as you can, but you want it to be as tax-free as possible and not be illegal. You want it to be within the legal realm and not be in jail. So it's important to utilize these strategies. Something else that people sometimes get confused about is that Social Security can be taxed. Talk a little bit about that, because sometimes people are like, what? I've been paying into the system for so long. You're going to tax me on Social Security? What happens with that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, because when they
Yes.
originally started Social Security, they said they weren't going to tax it.
Yes.
And then in 1984, they kind of shifted things around and decided that they were going to start taxing it. And, when we think about taxes in general, every year, for the most part, they'll increase the tax brackets and the earning windows, the windows that we have within certain brackets. Those generally increase for inflation over time. But the ones for Social Security have never increased since they started taxing it. So today, more and more people are paying taxes on their Social Security.
That's crazy.
And it's another one of those things where all the decisions that we make throughout the year and the way that we have our investment set up, that's going to play a big role in how much of our Social Security gets taxed. A good example is a couple that I was working with a couple weeks ago, and we were running the numbers. They needed to make an IRA withdrawal, or they needed to make a withdrawal. And we were analyzing, should we take it from a taxable IRA? And fortunately, in this situation, they had some Roth IRAs as well. And when we crunched the numbers, we found that if we actually took that money that they needed out of the Roth IRA for that year, that the end result was them not having to pay taxes on their Social Security.
Oh, wow.
Versus if we did take it from the taxable IRA, then they would have ended up paying taxes on their Social Security for that year.
Interesting.
And that's one of the benefits of dealing with a professional. So they know what to look at. They know the buckets. They know how to run the numbers. They know how to run the tax plan, and they can properly guide you.
Yes.
Right?
It's imperative. If you're thinking about having retirement confidence, you need to work with someone who specializes in this. Todd and Vinny, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, we would like to welcome you to call the number on your screen. We're talking about some retirement rules that people are still following that are currently outdated. This can cost you in the long run. Well, how do you avoid that? How do you avoid being derailed? Book the complimentary consultation today. Don't miss the opportunity. The number to call is on your screen, and we've made it even simpler. We know that you prefer sometimes to use technology. Just grab your smartphone, open up the camera app, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That is the landing page of Bauman Wealth Advisors. You can schedule your time accordingly. When it comes to the retirement years, don't you deserve to have peace of mind? We think you do. Take advantage of this today. We'll be right back momentarily on Dollars and Cents TV. Stay tuned.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
And welcome back to Dollars and Cents TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Todd Bauman. He is founder and CEO of Bauman Wealth Advisors, as well as joined by Vincent Garaventa. He is vice president of Bauman Wealth Advisors. And we're talking about some outdated rules of thumb that no longer apply to your retirement years. But we offered you the complimentary consultation, and you're probably wondering, what exactly is that? So we're going to talk a little bit in this segment about the return on life process. I love this. The return on life process. The
like
viewers
that?
are
Isn't that
leaning in
great?
and they're going, what is that? It sounds amazing.
How do you have a return on life, right?
Yes.
Well, here's how you have a return on life. I had a client a while ago who came in and she was afraid to spend any of her money. She was afraid of running out, kind of what we've been talking about the whole show, right? And so I built a plan for her and we dreamed with her. And I said, what do you want to do? Like, if you knew you could do anything, what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
And she said, I want to travel with my kids. And I said, have you heard of VRBO? Right? And she's like, never heard of it. So I got out her smartphone for her. I downloaded the app for her and we got her set up on VRBO. And I explained to her that you can go rent these houses all over the place.
Everywhere.
Exactly. And I said, you can bring your kids, bring your grandkids, and pay for it and have experiences with your family, because that was what was most important to her, right? Mm-hmm. And literally, Cynthia, a year later, she came in and she started crying. And I thought, what's the matter? Like, what's going on? She's like, I can't tell you how much you've changed my life. You building this plan, giving me the extra money to go out and rent these houses, and she showed me everywhere she's been, has completely changed my life. That's the return on life process, retirement plan.
Oh my gosh, that is life-changing. The ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Vinny, how empowering is that?
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's very empowering. It's integral that we're able to kind of bring all the pieces together for people and to go beyond just getting the best rate of return or maximizing the rate of return. I mean, that is very important, of course, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we want our clients to get the best return on life, the best experience out of life. And, money these days, it's a requirement.
Yes.
It is essential. It is entirely necessary to be able to do these things, to be able to get the VRBOs, to be able to maybe get another vacation home, a cabin, or get a safe vehicle that we could travel the States in, whatever the case may be. Those are the types of things that give you the best return on life.
Yes.
And that comes from having the right plan in place and having the right process and being able to navigate all those decisions along the way confidently. And that's the peace of mind that it gives. It's like you said, it's essential.
It's the best feeling in the
is.
world as an advisor to them, showing that you've changed their life, bettered their life, whatever you want to call that. To see, we'll have clients sending us pictures of emails. I just had some clients in London in front of Big Ben.
Oh,
because
how
we
cool.
encouraged them to go,
Yes.
He had said, I want to go. Okay, let's go. And we built them a plan. We figured out where the money was going to come from. And they're over there and they send us pictures of them living life. And that's what it's all about, Cynthia.
Yes.
I mean, that's the joy that we bring. Yeah, it's fun it's great to bring more return to somebody, save someone fees. I love saving clients fees.
I'm sure.
Especially showing them over a 10-year time period, you might have saved $50,000 in fees. That's amazing. Income taxes, all that's great. But to see that they're actually out there living their best life, I cannot tell you the reward that we get as a company.
Most definitely. And because you're independent, you are able to build plans that are customized just for them, because you have more options available to you than a lot of other advisors do. And that is such a gift and such a true benefit to your clients.
We do. And we have 3 offices in Southern Nevada, so we have a Mesquite office,
Yep.
we have a Henderson office and a Summerlin office. And so when you come in, Cynthia, I mean, the team's just smiling. We have a first impression specialist, and I promise you they're going to give you an amazing experience when you first come in. And then you walk back with our advisors and they'll go through everything with you. And when you leave, I cannot tell you how many times they say, that was an amazing appointment. I've never had that happen before. You explained it so well. I mean, they're just the joy that they have on their face. And we know we're doing something right when we hear that all the time.
Most definitely.
Right?
You know, they refer their friends to you as well, which
Yes.
is amazing. We talked about that a lot of your clients, the base that's coming in right now are referrals from current clients and past clients. And I think that is so incredibly amazing.
And we don't
So-
ask for that. Like,
I
you know, I
know.
know there's firms out there that ask for referrals. We
I
don't
know.
like, I know we probably should, but we don't because we just get them anyway.
Yes.
Right? I know Vinny gets a ton.
Yes.
I got 11 from a single client.
Did you really?
No.
11?
Over the past
See?
year,
Oh my
I've
goodness.
gotten 11 referrals from the same client, and then plenty of other of my clients have been sending in their friends and family,
Wow.
and
that's awesome.
that's quite
Beautiful.
literally the best compliment that I could receive.
It totally is. It means you're doing something right, and they know that, they feel it, they sense it,
Yeah.
and they love passing your name along.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, Todd, if someone is wondering if they should call in or not today, we only have about a minute and a half left of the show. Final words of wisdom to them if they're thinking, gosh, do I want to call? What should I do? What do you say to them?
Yeah, Cynthia, it's not complicated. Please don't be afraid. I promise you, it's very easy. It's fun. It's exciting to dream big, and we can help you accomplish that. You know, just give us a call, scan the QR code. We would love the opportunity to sit down and meet with you. I promise you there's no pressure here at all. I refuse to provide that to anybody. We make it so easy to come on in, see us, let us go through everything with you, and let's just dream and let's see if we can make it happen for you.
Todd, thank you so much. And Vinny, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on Dollars and Cents TV. We know that you're anxious to call in and to book that complimentary consultation. We welcome you to call the number on the screen. Book the consultation. Get to know the team of Bauman Wealth Advisors. They're going to design a plan that's going to suit your needs. It's customized. It is not it's not a blueprint. It's not candy cut. What am I trying to say? Cookie cutter. This is actually very independent. It's going to be something that's customized just for you. You can grab your smartphone, open up the camera app, and simply click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That's the fast track to Bauman Wealth Advisors. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you next week on Dollars and Cents TV. Take care.